Super Smash Brothers Brawl is the third entry in the Smash Brothers series and one of the biggest games on the Nintendo Wii. The game was jam-packed with a ton of content, a bunch of new characters, a proper story mode, and for the first time online play. This game was amazing. It even had a ton of bonus content like music tracks, a level creator, and a bunch of other things. This game was literally just jam-packed with content, so much so that it's surprising that there was actually more content planned for the game that was either cut to be added to Super Smash Bros. For 3DS and Wii U, or just never seen again. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, the development of Super Smash Bros. Brawl and all the crazy stuff that was never actually added to the game but was planned to. For example, during the development of Super Smash Bros. Brawl, the villager was planned to be a playable character but was ultimately deemed by Sakurai as unsuitable to be a fighting character. Mii's were also up in the air as ideas for characters to be in Brawl, but the idea was dropped as the idea of having Mii's beating each other up didn't exactly sound like a great idea. Shigeru Miyamoto also suggested adding Pac-Man in Brawl, but Sakurai thought that having a 2D version of Pac-Man in Smash Brothers would seem very far-fetched. Despite all these characters being dropped from Super Smash Bros. Brawl, they would later be added in Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS. Toon Zelda, Dixie Kong, Dr. Mario, Mewtwo, Roy, and possibly Plusle and Minun were all planned for Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Dixie Kong was scrapped, although you could still find an alternative costume for Diddy Kong that looks very similar to her color palette. Dr. Mario had character files, although most of them were unchanged duplicates of Mario's files. Mewtwo had the most data, including a Wii Remote selection sound effect. Roy's files, on the other hand, include the sound effect for fans cheering on his name. There's also a character slot called Pra and Mai that's assumed to be the Pokemon Plusle and Minun because this is very similar to their Japanese pronunciation names. However, that's all pure speculation. It was never actually confirmed who this character was. There's also files for a Toon Zelda / Toon Sheik crossover character from The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. It's speculated that since there isn't really a Toon Sheik character in the series, that the name actually is recalling or referring to Tetra, and that this would be Toon Zelda's other transformation, sort of like between Zelda and Sheik. Toon Link, Wolf, and Jigglypuff were also in jeopardy of being cut from Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Their inclusion in the final version of the game was a last minute thing, and you could tell as they all ended up being bonus characters after the ending of Subspace Emissary. At one point during development, there was a damaging system that actually showed physical damage on the character the higher their percentage was. For example, after a few hits, Meta Knight's mask would begin to chip and crack. This idea was scrapped most likely due to Nintendo thinking it would damage the image of their characters, quite literally. However, this idea would be later implemented in Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS, because you could see this on Little Mac's character. There were also some scenes in Subspace Emissary that were scrapped, like one particular scene that took place at the beginning of the story. This scene would explain how the Subspace Emissary got a hold of Meta Knight's ship. There were also some slight alterations in the movesets of some characters. Kirby, for example, had his aerial hammer attack change spin directions between the announcement trailer and the final version of the game. There was also an unused walking hammer animation for Kirby that showed how he had a similar moveset to Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. Zero Suit Samus's side B whip attack was originally also going to be a way to pick up items from afar, but the idea was scrapped because it would begin to interfere when players were trying to initially hit a character and not pick up an item. There's also an unused animation of Wolf doing a rapid kick attack similar to Fox's neutral attacks. This shows evidence that at one point Wolf was more of a clone to Fox before he was being developed to a more unique looking character. In the 2007 E3 trailer, Fox can be seen with his blaster in hand, although he's not using his neutral special. This suggests that Fox and Falco would be able to carry their blasters outside of their holsters without actually firing them. There's also some unused animations of Fox and Falco inspecting the area around them before putting their blasters away. It's assumed that this is because at one point Fox and Falco's neutral special would have a handicap, where it would begin to misfire after long periods of use. There's also a short animation of Diddy Kong giggling that would play whenever someone would trip on their banana peel on stage. Finally, there's an unused Pokemon Trainer animation that shows the character jumping and landing on the platform. This is presumed to be what Pokemon Trainer would have originally done when his Pokemon moved platforms rather than just space jumping like he does in the final version of the game. There was an unused assist trophy file for Ridley, although it's not really known why the idea was scrapped. He eventually became a boss battle in Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. And that pretty much does it for our look at the development of Super Smash Bros. Brawl for the Nintendo Wii. An overall really interesting game because there's a ton of content in this game, and surprisingly more content was going to be added but was later saved to be added to Super Smash Bros. For Wii U or 3DS, or just never seen again. In the comments below, let me know what you thought was the most interesting piece of information you heard today. For me, I'm really curious to see what Pry and Mai was. It's 2015 and we still don't know what that character was, so I'm really curious to see if we'll ever find out. As always, thank you all very much for watching the video. If you guys want to show your support for the channel, drop it a like and share with your friends on social network feeds. It helps more people find out about this channel, and I really appreciate it. Thank you all very much for watching once again, and I'll see you guys in the next video.